Bangladesh is a beautiful country in South Asia. It is located to the east of India, with the Bay of Bengal to its south. The country is famous for its many rivers, lush green landscapes, and the majestic Bengal tiger. But you know, there is another kind of treasure hidden in its history. Its coins. These small metal discs are more than just money. They are tiny history books that tell the story of the people, rulers, and events that have shaped this land for thousands of years. Studying these coins helps us understand the rich and complex past of the region we now call Bangladesh. It's kind of like being a detective, piecing together clues from a long time ago. For an American audience, the term penny might bring to mind the 1-cent coin with Abraham Lincoln's face. In the context of Bangladesh, our pennies are the small denomination coins called paisa. 100 paisa make 1 taka, which is the main currency of Bangladesh, similar to how 100 cents make $1. The journey of these small coins is fascinating. It starts in ancient times, travels through powerful empires and colonial rule, and arrives in the modern era of independent Bangladesh. Each coin tells a part of this grand story, reflecting the art, economy, and politics of its time. This essay will take you on a journey through the complete history of these small coins in Bangladesh. We will start from the very beginning, looking at the earliest forms of money used in ancient Bengal over 2,000 years ago. We will explore the beautiful coins of the medieval sultans and the standardized currency introduced by the British. Then, we will examine the coins used when the region was part of Pakistan, and finally dive deep into the coins of independent Bangladesh since 1971. We will look at their designs, the metals they are made from, and the stories they carry. Understanding this history is important. It connects us to the trade, culture, and power struggles of the past. It shows how the identity of the Bengali people was expressed through the symbols on their money. For collectors and history lovers, each coin is a tangible piece of the past, a small artifact you can hold in your hand. This exploration is not just for experts. It is for anyone curious about how a small country like Bangladesh has such a big and interesting history. So, let's begin our numismatic journey and uncover the secrets held within these little pieces of metal. The story of coins in Bengal begins more than 2,500 years ago. Before rulers put their faces on coins, people used something called punch-marked coins. These were some of the earliest coins in the Indian subcontinent, including the Bengal region. They were not perfectly round like the coins we see today. Instead, they were irregularly shaped pieces of silver. Merchants and local authorities would press different symbols onto them using punches. These symbols could be anything from geometric shapes and animals like elephants or fish, to celestial signs like the sun. Each mark acted as a guarantee of the coin's weight and purity. These ancient coins were mostly made of silver. The value of the coin depended on how much silver it contained. They were used in major ancient cities and trade centers, like Wari Bateshwar in modern-day Bangladesh, which was a bustling hub of commerce. Archaeologists have found hordes of these punch-marked coins buried in earthen pots, giving us a glimpse into the economy of ancient Bengal. People used them to buy goods, pay for services, and conduct business with traders from other regions. These coins show that Bengal was an active part of a large economic network long before the arrival of famous empires. As time passed, new empires rose to power and coin designs began to change. Around the 3rd century BCE, the Mauryan Empire, one of India's greatest ancient empires, extended its influence into Bengal. Their punch-marked coins were more standardized, with a set of 5 specific symbols, indicating a more centralized control over currency. Later, empires like the Guptas, who ruled from the 4th to the 6th century CE, introduced beautifully crafted gold coins. These coins were stunning works of art, often featuring images of kings, queens, and Hindu deities. Although gold coins were for large transactions, smaller copper and silver coins were used for daily life. These ancient coins tell us a lot about the society of that time. The symbols on the punch-marked coins reflect the nature and beliefs of the local people. The high-quality gold coins of the Gupta period show a time of great prosperity and artistic achievement. The use of different metals like silver, gold, and copper indicates a complex economy with different levels of transactions. For the average person, these small pieces of metal were essential for their livelihood. They were the pennies of their day, enabling them to trade their farm produce or crafts in the local market, connecting them to a wider world of commerce. The medieval period, starting around the 8th century, brought significant changes to Bengal's coinage. This era saw the rise of local Bengali kingdoms, like the Pala and Sena dynasties. However, the most dramatic shift came with the arrival of Muslim rulers in the 13th century. The Delhi Sultanate, and later the independent Bengal Sultanate, introduced a new style of currency. The most important coin of this period was the silver tanka. This large, silver coin became the standard for trade and administration. The word taka, which is the name of Bangladesh's currency today, has its roots in this medieval coin, showing its lasting legacy. The coins of the Bengal Sultanate are particularly famous among numismatists. Unlike earlier coins with images, these coins were aniconic, meaning they did not have pictures of people or animals in keeping with Islamic tradition. Instead, they were covered in beautiful Arabic calligraphy. The inscriptions on the coins would typically include the name of the Sultan, his titles, the date of issue in the Islamic Hijri calendar, and the location of the mint. These mint names, such as Sonagaon, Gaon, and Satgaon, help historians map the extent of the Sultanate's territory and its important administrative centers. The quality of the calligraphy often reflected the skill of the artisans and the power of the ruler. These sultans issued coins in gold, silver, and other metals. While the gold tanka was rare and used for large ceremonial payments, the silver tanka was the workhorse of the economy. It was used by merchants, landowners, and the state to conduct major business. For smaller, everyday transactions, there were smaller silver coins and coins made of copper or bilon, which is an alloy of silver and copper. These were the pennies of the medieval era, used by common people in the marketplace to buy food, cloth, and other necessities. The existence of these fractional coins shows a sophisticated and monetized economy, where even small purchases were made with money. The designs on these coins sometimes carried political messages. For example, a sultan might adopt a grand title like the Second Alexander on his coins to proclaim his power and ambition. Some sultans even inscribed the kalima, the basic creed of Islam, on their coins to show their piety. When the Mughal Empire conquered Bengal in the 16th century, the coinage changed again. The Mughals introduced their standardized imperial currency across their vast empire. The coins from this era were uniform in weight and design, with the Mughal emperor's name inscribed in elegant Persian script, signaling the end of Bengal's independent coinage for a long time. The arrival of the British East India Company, and later the direct rule of the British Crown, marked another major turning point in the history of coins in Bengal. The British sought to create a single, unified currency across all of India, including Bengal, to make trade and administration easier. This led to the end of the diverse local coinage systems that had existed for centuries. Starting in the 19th century, the British introduced a series of machine-made coins that were uniform, precise, and difficult to counterfeit. This was a big change from the hand-struck coins of the past. The new coins featured the portrait of the reigning British monarch on one side, which is called the obverse. You would see the image of Queen Victoria, King Edward VII, King George V, and King George VI on coins issued during their respective reigns. This was a powerful symbol of British authority, making it clear who was in charge. The other side of the coin, the reverse, showed the denomination, such as 1 rupee, half anna, or 1 paise, written in English and sometimes in local scripts like Bengali and Persian. The designs were often simple and elegant, with wreaths or other floral patterns. The smallest denomination coins were the pennies of the British Raj. These included the pice, half-pice and pi coins, which were made of copper or bronze. 1 rupee was equal to 16 annas, and 1 anna was equal to 12 pies. This system might seem complicated to someone used to a decimal system like the American dollar, but it was used across India for over a century. These small copper coins were essential for the daily lives of millions of people in Bengal. They were used to buy a cup of tea, a piece of fruit, or pay for a short ride on a rickshaw. An interesting story from this era involves the godless coin of 1862. The first coins issued under Queen Victoria did not include the title "By the Grace of God" in her inscription. This caused some controversy among people in Britain and India, who felt it was a departure from tradition. The title was restored in later issues. Another fascinating detail is the change in the monarch's portrait over time. For instance, Queen Victoria's portrait was updated from a young head to a more mature Jubilee head to reflect her aging. These coins are not just currency, they are a direct link to the vast and powerful British Empire and its impact on Bengal. In 1947, British rule in India came to an end. The subcontinent was partitioned, and 2 new independent nations were born: India and Pakistan. Bengal was also divided. West Bengal became part of India, while East Bengal became the eastern wing of Pakistan, known as East Pakistan. This marked the beginning of a new, though transitional, phase for coinage in the region. For a short period right after independence, the new government of Pakistan continued to use British Indian coins because, well, it took time to design and mint new ones. They were simply used as the legal currency until Pakistan could issue its own. The first coins of Pakistan were issued in 1948. These coins kept the same sizes and denominations as the British Indian coins, such as the rupee, anna, and pice. However, the designs were completely new, created to reflect the identity of the new Islamic Republic. The portrait of the British monarch was gone. In its place, the obverse of the coins featured the crescent moon and star, a prominent symbol of Islam and a central element of Pakistan's national flag. The reverse side showed the denomination and the year of issue, along with a tufra, which is a stylized calligraphic monogram of the state. The inscriptions on these coins were written in English, Urdu, the national language of West Pakistan, and Bengali, the language of East Pakistan. The inclusion of Bengali was a very important political point. It acknowledged the large Bengali-speaking population in East Pakistan. However, the relationship between East and West Pakistan was often strained, partly over issues of language and culture. The coins from this period are a physical reminder of this complex union. They represent a time when Bengal was part of a different national identity before it fought for its own independence. A major change happened in 1961 when Pakistan switched its currency system to a decimal format, just like the one used in the United States. The old system of rupees, annas, and pies was retired. The new system was simpler. 1 rupee was divided into 100 paisa. New coins were introduced with denominations of 1, 5, and 10 paisa. These were the new pennies. The 1 paisa coin was a small bronze piece, while the 5 and 10 paisa coins were made of nickel brass. These coins were used across both East and West Pakistan until the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971, after which East Pakistan emerged as the independent nation of Bangladesh. The year 1971 is, without a doubt, the most important year in the history of Bangladesh. After a 9-month-long war of liberation against Pakistan, Bangladesh was born as an independent nation on December 16th. One of the very first tasks for the new government was to establish its own national currency, which became a powerful symbol of sovereignty and independence. The new currency was called the taka, a name with deep historical roots in Bengal, and it was divided into 100 paisa. The first series of Bangladeshi coins came out in 1973, and these coins were designed to celebrate the country's identity and aspirations. The first coins were issued in denominations of 5, 10, 25, and 50 poisha. These coins marked a complete break from the past. Instead of featuring rulers or religious symbols, they displayed emblems that represented the new nation's core values. Every coin in this first series had the national emblem of Bangladesh on one side. This emblem is a water lily, or shapla, the national flower, floating on water, flanked by 2 sheaves of rice, and topped by 4 stars, and a 3-leaf clover of jute leaves. This emblem beautifully captures the country's geography, with its rivers and water lilies, its agricultural foundation with rice and jute, and the founding principles of the state. The other side of each coin had its own unique design. The 5 poisha coin, made of aluminum, featured a plough to symbolize the country's agricultural roots. The 10 poisha coin, also aluminum, depicted a family of 4, a father, mother, son, and daughter, highlighting the national theme of family planning. The 25 poisha coin showed a Royal Bengal tiger, the majestic national animal, representing strength and courage. The 50 poisha coin featured the hilsa fish, a beloved national fish and a staple of Bengali cuisine. These designs were simple, modern, and deeply connected to the life and culture of the people. A 1 poisha coin was also introduced in 1974, and this tiny aluminum coin was the smallest denomination. Over the years, the designs and metals of these coins have changed. Due to inflation, the smaller denomination coins like 1, 5, and 10 poisha are no longer in common circulation, even though they're still legal tender. The government has also issued commemorative coins to celebrate special events, such as the 25th anniversary of independence, or to honor national heroes. These coins aren't just for spending, they're actually little monuments that tell the story of Bangladesh's journey as a proud and independent nation. Let's take a closer look at the smallest coins of Bangladesh, the pennies or poisha, that have been part of daily life since independence. The very first 1 poisha coin, issued in 1974, was a tiny square-shaped aluminum coin with rounded corners. Its design was really simple, with the national emblem on one side and ornamental floral patterns on the other. This unique shape made it easy to tell apart from other coins just by touch. However, because of its very low value, it quickly disappeared from everyday use. These days, finding a 1 poisha coin is a real treat for collectors, a little relic from a time when even the smallest amount of money mattered a lot. The 5 poisha coin also has quite an interesting story. The first version, from 1973, was made of aluminum and had a square shape with rounded corners, just like the 1 poisha. It featured a plough to honor the farmers of Bangladesh. A few years later, in 1977, the design changed. The new 5 poisha coin was round and showed a deki, which is a traditional rice husking pedal, again highlighting the importance of agriculture. This coin was also made of aluminum and stayed in circulation for many years, even though its purchasing power kept dropping. Now, it's another coin that's rarely seen in shops. The 10 poisha coin initially featured the happy family theme to promote family planning. It was a scalloped or wavy-edged aluminum coin, and this distinctive shape made it stand out. In 1977, the design was updated to show a person reading a book under a lamp with the slogan, "Education for all." This reflected a national push to increase literacy across the country. Like the other small coins, the metal was eventually changed from aluminum to steel in later issues to make it more durable. But by then, its value had dropped so much that it was used less and less for transactions. The 25 poisha coin was perhaps one of the most recognizable. Initially made of steel, its first design in 1973 featured the Royal Bengal tiger. Later in 1977, this coin was redesigned to show the hilsa fish. For a long time, the 25 poisha coin was called an Arth Anna, or 8 annas, by older people, a holdover from the pre-decimal system where a quarter of a rupee was 4 annas, but the term just stuck around. Eventually, the metal was changed to stainless steel. There was also a 50 poisha coin, which first featured a hilsa fish and later a hen and rooster. These small coins, though now mostly gone from our pockets, tell a powerful story of Bangladesh's social and economic priorities over the decades. Every coin collection has its stars, the rare, the unusual, and the ones with a special story. In the world of Bangladeshi coins, there are quite a few pieces that collectors and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for. One of the most famous is the 1973 10 paisa coin. While the common version of this coin promoted family planning, a very small number were minted with a different design, just a simple water lily. This was probably a pattern or trial coin that was never meant to be in circulation. Only a handful of these Shapla 10 paisa coins exist, making them extremely rare and valuable. Finding one is really like discovering a hidden treasure for any numismatist. Another fascinating category of rare coins is called mules. A mule coin is basically a mistake, an error coin where the front die of one coin is paired with the back die of another coin. For example, you might find a mule coin with the front of a 25 paisa coin and the back of a 50 paisa coin. These errors are not supposed to leave the mint, but sometimes they slip through quality control and end up in circulation. These mistakes are highly prized by collectors because they're unique and tell a story about the minting process. They're accidental rarities that capture a moment of human or mechanical error. The materials of the coins also have interesting stories to tell. In the early 1970s, right after independence, Bangladesh faced some tough economic challenges. To save money, the first coins were made of cheap and light aluminum. But aluminum is a soft metal and wears down easily. As the country's economy stabilized and grew, the government switched to more durable metals like stainless steel for its coins. This move from aluminum to steel is actually a physical sign of the nation's journey from a difficult start to a more stable and resilient economy. The heavier, shinier steel coins feel more substantial in your hand, reflecting a stronger taka. Finally, commemorative coins are a special part of any collection. Bangladesh has issued several beautiful commemorative coins in silver and other metals to mark important milestones. For example, there was a coin for the 25th anniversary of independence in 1996, and another one to mark the 40th anniversary of the language movement of 1952. A really pivotal event in the country's history. These coins aren't meant for everyday use, but they're sold to collectors. They often have intricate designs related to the event they celebrate and serve as historical markers, preserving the memory of important national moments for future generations to appreciate. From the ancient punch-marked silver pieces of Wari Bateshwar to the modern stainless steel coins of today, the journey of Bangladesh's pennies really mirrors its vibrant and sometimes turbulent history. These small metal discs are so much more than just currency. They're artifacts of culture, politics, and economics. Over the centuries, they've carried the symbols of local chiefdoms, the names of powerful sultans, the portraits of foreign monarchs, and the emblems of a proud, independent nation. Every change in their design, metal, or inscription tells the story of a new era, a shift in power, or a change in national priorities. The evolution of these coins shows a clear narrative. The early, non-standardized coins point to a time of local trade and kingdoms. The arrival of the sultans brought a new, unified currency based on calligraphy and Islamic principles, giving Bengal a distinct monetary identity for centuries. The British colonial era imposed uniformity and imperial authority, tying Bengal's economy to a global empire. The brief Pakistan period was a transitional phase, a union that was ultimately broken, leading to the birth of Bangladesh and its own currency, the taka and its paisa. Now, in 2025, the role of the smallest coins has changed a lot. Because of inflation, the 1, 5, 10, and even 25 paisa coins are no longer part of our daily transactions. These days, we mostly use the 1, 2, and 5 taka coins for small purchases. The paisa coins have become relics of the past, objects of nostalgia for older generations, and items of curiosity for collectors. They remind us of a time when a single paisa could buy a piece of candy, a small but meaningful transaction. Their disappearance from circulation is, in itself, a sign of economic change over the last 5 decades. The legacy of these coins lives on. They're preserved in museums, cherished in private collections, and studied by historians and numismatists across the world. For anyone, even an international audience from places like America, these coins offer a unique and tangible way to connect with the story of Bangladesh. They show how this nation, built on a rich delta of rivers, has navigated the currents of history. Holding a coin from a different era is like holding a piece of that history in your hand, a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires and the enduring spirit of the Bengali people.